Ben's a little nervous about what I'm about to say. Partially because and this might be a little long for a toast, I don't know. Partially because for the past 2 or 3 months I've been building up his expectations. So I think at this point, and Olivia, for the record, has tried to provide me with as much material as possible. So. And so Ben at this point thinks, and he told me last night he wishes I wasn't speaking. He thinks at this point this is going to be an hour-long roast of Benjamin and Rocky, but I assure you that's not the case. I'll definitely be done in less than an hour. So I'd like to actually dedicate this not so much to Benjamin, but to all the grooms that had the honor of Benjamin as their best man and never received a speech or a bachelor party. Guys, we'll discuss it in our next support group meeting in more detail. But, I've known Ben since we were kids. And we really became close friends in our teen years. And I know a lot of you know Benjamin in different ways. Some of you have known him all your lives, or really all his life. Some of you have only known him for a couple years. Maybe some of you you're meeting for the first time tonight. And those of you who are perhaps first time meeting Benjamin today or recently, you might think that he's a stoic person. But stoicism is really not the characteristic that I would ascribe to Benjamin. He's a very particular person. And I remember several years ago, actually, we were at his aunts and uncles in Iowa. And we were out there in the year 2000, actually, so I can't believe it's been 17 years. And as we were packing to get home to go, we were in their basement, and he was packing and he was folding a t-shirt. And do you know that boy folded that t-shirt 5 times? And every time he folded it, and he'd see a wrinkle or something, and every time I could feel the frustration growing and the angst just beginning to roll off of him. And, our group of friends have a little saying that, there's certain things, they're usually very simple things, but Benjamin can't even start them because he's just too frustrated. And we say that he's going to rage quit before we even begin. The rage just is so stoicism is really not the best characteristic. And the other thing that I want to, I think is really a characteristic of Benjamin that I've found great joy over the years, is that he's, I guess goofy is the best way to put it at certain times. So, a couple of years ago, to illustrate that, in 2015, Ben and I, as well as Matt, his brother, he knows what's coming, and my wife Holly, we went to Tuscany for several days. And before going, we had rented a house to stay at, and it had a hot tub that was, the listing says it had a hot tub. So for weeks before going, Benjamin just couldn't wait to be able to, after a long day of being out and seeing the rolling plains of Tuscany, to sit in this hot tub at the end of the day, look out over the beautiful vineyards and whatever else is there. He just couldn't wait. And so you can understand why he'd be upset when we arrived. And it was not so much a hot tub as it was a cold tub, because it was not working. And so he was actually pretty upset, and so one night, he decided, I'm still going to go into this hot tub, cold tub. So you just picture this scene. It's dark in a quiet Tuscan night. 3 guys go down. I decided there's no way I'm getting in that hot tub. And I just want to give you, I had the foresight of recording what it sounded like when Benjamin this is not made up, so I'm just gonna bear. Well, it's not over. So, I don't really think I need to add any more to to that. You can hear poor Matt trying to say shh first, but it didn't stop him at all. So he can be pretty goofy at times. So Ben and I have traveled a lot over the years together, and some of my favorite memories are really with him. This is not really the funny part at all, but some of my favorite memories are really the times that we've spent, usually alone, traveling. I wrote down a couple just because, there are things that I'll always remember. I remember back in 2012, we were in Amalfi and we hiked out together, past all these lemon groves and ruined iron mills, and we found this kind of canyon that was moss covered and water coming down it. And it was quiet, it was peaceful, and we just had a good time, enjoying nature. I remember Ben realized his memory card on his camera was full, so I watched him for about 15 minutes trying to delete pictures one by one so that he could take more photos off of it. Utah, we went in 2014 and we hiked up to the Delicate Arch for sunset, and we stayed out there for 2 or 3 more hours, and just sitting there, perfect stillness, next to my best friend while we looked at the stars that were just brilliant in the sky. We were in, this is going to be boring if I just read all these off, I'm realizing now, but, we've been to Nantucket, Spain. I just remember sitting on the side of a mountain after a hike eating a sandwich, quiet, just sitting there with them. And I think one of the most memorable times of that trip was midnight to 3 a.m. one night. We had quite the passionate debate about some things that are important to us. And it was just great because we could talk about the things that were important to us. And no matter how passionate we were in the middle of the night, probably with neighbors wondering what was going on, we woke up in the morning and we were still best friends. So I guess the other thing I should say is Benjamin can be a little obsessive when he likes something. And I could go into stories, and I'm really not going to do that because I feel like I'm already taking way too long for a toast. But, Olivia, when he really likes something, he's obsessive about it. Usually in a weird way, but I think it seems that he really likes you. So I think that really should work in your favor. And you better make sure it does, Benjamin. But Ben is, so this is a couple last thoughts. He's probably one of the most generous people I know. Mm-hmm. I know that's sort of cliche in a speech like this. Everybody says, "Oh, you're so generous," but I truly mean it. Whether it's taking his family on vacation and paying for it out of his own pocket, or offering to buy a plane ticket for someone who can't afford it, or just paying for a check at dinner, whatever it may be. He probably is. I think he is the most generous person I know. And I see a lot of nods out there in the audience, a couple of thumbs up over there as well. So, and the last thing is, he's a tender-hearted guy. There's a lot of times we've had conversations, and you can tell how touched he is, whether it's in church while he's preaching the gospel, or whether it's in a prayer, or whether it's just a conversation about something important to him. If you watched him during the ceremony today, you probably saw how it touched him and how passionate he is for Christ. He's a strong Christian. And so, guys, I'm thankful that I could be part of your day today. Don't cry, Ben. Why are your lips turning down? You want me to tell some more stories? No. Thank you for being part of your day today, for the opportunity. And I know, Olivia, you've added so much to his life already. I know for many, many years to come, you guys are going to be happy, be strong in Christ, and you'll have a happy marriage. Thanks to both of you.